undergraduate degree in 2 years while confined to a juvenile detention facility.
Well, some people are born with a knack for shooting, some singing. Me, I got a knack for thinking. Simple as that.
You graduated top of your university class when you were 16. You'll have a doctorate by the time you're 20. There is nothing simple about that.
And you're sure I'm clear to work here? I mean, after such a kindness, I don't want to get no one in trouble on my account.
I spoke to your parole officer in North Carolina. Your record is officially expunged and sealed forever, so it's no problem.
I cannot thank you enough, Dr. Shroy.
Yeah, the pleasure's mine. I'm the one that's getting a brilliant new intern.
Oh, I'm just a simple country boy trying to one foot in front of the other, ma'am.
Well, put on this simple lab coat and you can help me prep the forensic platform.
Mr. Abernathy, a few observations so that I may judge your ability with a real set of remains.
Yes, ma'am. The victim is a female. Normally, I would say late 20s to early 30s. But in this case, I would say 30 to 31, based on the sternal rib ends. Smooth, only a few pores, sharp rim edge, irregularly contoured, zero projections. That in conjunction with the barely discernible fusion line at the medial clavicle gives us precise age. As for injuries, cursory examination shows sharp force trauma present on the ribs, posterior ulna, humerus, and supraspinous fossa. It's all consistent with being thrown through a needle rather than tempered glass. Said glass approximately 6 millimeters in thickness, judging by the shards protruding from the scapula.
A promising start. Dr. Sorin?
Sure, because who wouldn't want to follow that act? Well, feeding activity on the lower half of the body was isolated, leaving this entire portion almost fully intact, including much of the small intestine and... Oh! Did you guys see that?
Peristalsis to the abdominal distension.
Except the victim has no abdomen. Dr. Hodgins?
Somebody kill that thing.
You can come back to the lab. We discovered the warm place where the python was hiding.
Oh, I gotta say, man, this is the best damn job ever.
So I hear Finn saved you from having a heart attack.
Yes, he's quite handy with serpents. Even Dr. Brennan was impressed.
Really? It's rare for her to trust a new intern to work solo.
Well, I'll try to do her proud.
Seriously? Do her proud?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What exactly did you do to wind up in juvie for 3 years anyway?
Dr. Hodgins, we have work to do.
Yeah, it's an innocent question.
No need to worry, Dr. Hodgins. A few mistakes when I was a sprout, but now I'm as honest as the sunshine on the back of a honeybee.
Why is that honest?
There's a lot of masticated food in the teeth. A lot.
Oh, wow. Oh, it looks like she was eating from a trough just before she died. Okay. I'll floss and see if I find anything interesting.
The victim's mandibular fossa is unusually shallow, allowing for the condylar process to slip, meaning this lady's jaw could unhinge itself like a python. She could swallow anything.
Excuse me. Well, I'm confused, Finn. No one spends 3 years in juvie for hot wiring a tractor.
Dr. Hodgins.
I reckon he has a right to know. I did some joyriding. I mailbox baseball. I borrowed a few things from the grocery I shouldn't have. Like, I am proud of it, sir. But now I'm proud to be able to assist y'all in whatever way I can.
Okay, then. Well, I reckon I best go look and see what we found in the teeth.
I'm so sorry, Finn.
No problem, ma'am. But there is something here that is as old as my cousin Bobby. We have an extra bone, and it's the victim's because it's covered in her scar tissue.
An extra bone?
But it must be due to fiber dysplasia ossificans progressiva, you know, the disorder that causes the muscle and tissue to ossify. But I'd sure feel better if Dr. Brennan took a look-see.
I'm not killing that snake.
But this ain't me asking, you understand?
It's not ain't. It isn't. This is the Jeffersonian, not a fishing hole.
Look, I appreciate you're agitated, but Dr. Saroyan insists. See, when we x-rayed our little friend here, we found a rat inside. And inside that rat, a distal phalanx from the victim. Now we need to get that bone before the snake's digestive juices gets to it.
Well, maybe someone of legal drinking age can figure out how to read that x-ray without killing an innocent python.
Is everything okay?
No, it's not. You know, we just gave him a new home. He's got bamboo climbing branches, artificial plants, in the hiding box.
Well, everyone has to make sacrifices, Dr. Hodgins, and it's time for that python to make his.
You know, growing up, I kept myself a few snakes, so I might be able to...
Wonderful. Opie, really. However, the adults who can speak properly, we're talking now.
Excuse me, sir, but elocution was not on my application, and it doesn't seem to bother anybody else here how I talk. So I'm getting the feeling you're just doing it to make me feel bad, because I'm different than you, which right now is making me feel pretty glad. But just because we speak different, don't mean we can't understand one another. After all, we both speak science, and that's all that's important in here, right?
Ooh, snap.
Yes.
I reviewed your notes, which are thorough and excellent, except for your conclusion concerning this bone.
It fits the profile for fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva.
A rare and fascinating disorder. However, in our search for the extraordinary, the mundane is often overlooked. This is a chicken bone.
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry, ma'am. I should have known. I grew up on barbecue.
It was lodged in the lung after it was swallowed and it went down the trachea instead of her esophagus.
Well, why didn't she cough it up like a normal person?
That is one of the questions we will need to answer. You might find something valuable in the intestinal contents Dr. Soroyan retrieved.
Thank you, ma'am. Miss Montenegro said you might have found some DNA. I sure would like to be of assistance, if you'd like.
No, Finn, it's okay. I've got this one.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
What are you doing in my lab, Opie?
My name ain't Opie. Thurston.
Thurston?
Yeah, I'm trying to help you. And the snake. Mostly the snake.
Yeah, well, nice try, but our 2 hours are up.
Oh no, we got 5 minutes left. See, since the snake's digestive juices are regulated by body temperature, I'm cooling our slimy friend at 26.1 degrees Celsius to slow down his metabolism.
That'll kill him.
Not 5 minutes, it won't. We'll have time to warm him up after.
After what?
After we get out the distal phalanx.
Without cutting him open?
Yes, sir. See, here's a little something that I learned in my fishing hole. Many snakes, when confronted by a specter of death, are known to upchuck what's in their stomach contents. That way they may slither away unencumbered. And I've spooked a few serpents in my day.
And why didn't you bring this up before?
It might have had something to do with you treating me like a piece of scat and not wanting me to speak.
Yeah, well, I said I'm sorry, so.
Actually, sir, I believe I'm sorry must have slipped your mind. But I'm all ears now.
He's getting too cold.
Yes, sir, he is.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I was an asshat. I am Thurston the asshat. There. Now, how do you scare a snake at a fishing hole?
Simple as flipping a flapjack standing on your forehead.
See, that actually sounds very difficult.
Oh!
Oh my God. Quick, what's a southern colloquialism for shock and amazement?
Well, hack my legs off and call me Shorty.
Well, Shorty, we got ourselves some evidence.
Don't read too good, does it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I want to know who I was working with, too.
Are those reports wrong?
It wouldn't matter what I said. The truth is, people always think the worst when given the choice.
That's not true.
I'd like to believe that, but from where I sit, experience has been a cruel teacher. Anyway, I was just fixing to clean off this bone, and a thought came to me.
What was that?
Now, that laminated terrarium glass the victim was thrown through, at 6.38 millimeters, that's some pretty resistant stuff. Maybe we could use your computer to calculate the mass of the killer and reference the length of the room.
Yeah. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Well, here's some of the figures I got drawn up so far. I'll get out of your hair now.
Finn, about what I was looking at before.
Don't worry none. I'm used to it.
You have no idea where Mr. Abernathy went? He doesn't seem like the kind of person who would quit before we solved the case.
He did have a questionable past, Dr. Brennan.
Look at the victims.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Booth can't make an arrest without more evidence. I don't appreciate having to do your work as well as my own, Mr. Abernathy.
I'm sorry, but I realized quitting was a coward's way out.
It is. Please clean the distal phalanx you recovered.
Shouldn't have left it like that, should I?
I trust that was a rhetorical question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did your interest in forensics stem from a plan to murder your stepfather?
Yes, ma'am, it did.
Dr. Soroyan mentioned that he was physically abusive to both you and your mother.
He had a temper. Probably why I behaved like I did. Could never find a way to make the mad go away.
So, did you murder your stepfather, Mr. Abernathy?
No, ma'am. I did not.
What stopped you?
I read a paper you wrote. Postmortem dismemberment, recovery, and analysis. I knew no matter how careful I was, I'd never get away with killing him. At least not with y'all around.
I'd like to think that's true.
Well, I took it as a sign from above. Keep me on the straight and narrow. I haven't so much talked in church since.
What happened to your stepfather?
Last time I saw him, I told him he was a dead man if he ever touched my mama again. Guess some bitch didn't know I was bluffing.
I can imagine how it must feel to know that people are thinking that you did something like that.
I appreciate that.
Just never walk out again, you hear? There ain't gonna be no more second chances. I love John Wayne movies.
Yeah. Dr. Brennan, take a look at this.
It's from a parasite. Good job, Opie.
Dr. Hodgins.
No, I don't mind, Dr. Schramm. Truth be told, after walking out, I deserve whatever Thurston here chooses to deal out.
Thurston?
Yeah, Opie and I have a little understanding. So our parasite is a Paragonomus westermani. It's a lung fluke.
Well, the lung fluke isn't found in the U.S.
Opie, you're like the little brother I never had.
Much obliged, Thurston.
In Japan, however, the lung fluke is endemic to 80% of their freshwater crabs.
I had the victim been in Japan.
No, but she knew someone. Mr. Abernathy, I don't want to see you wearing that baseball cap in the lab anymore.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry about that.
I'd rather you wore this one.
This This'll do just fine, man.
Not bad.